Je. Most people who discover Stoicism do exactly what the philosophy warns against. They read a few quotes, feel inspired, and then wait for the calm to arrive. They treat it like a belief system you adopt rather than a skill you build. And nothing changes. The ancient teachers knew this would happen, which is why one of them made the body the starting point. Musonius Rufus taught philosophy in Rome during the 1st century. He is less famous than Marcus Aurelius or Seneca, but his students included Epictetus, who became one of the most influential voices the Stoic tradition ever produced. Musonius had a direct, unsparing approach. He was exiled twice by Roman emperors who found his teaching inconvenient. He lost his home, his school, and his standing in the city more than once. He did not respond by retreating into theory. He responded by insisting that philosophy without practice is decoration. His life made the argument before his words did. His core argument is simple and uncomfortable. You cannot think your way into Stoic character, you have to train your way in. Musonius compared the person who studies philosophy but never practices it to a person who learns about medicine without ever treating a patient. The knowledge sits unused, and the condition it was meant to address goes on unchanged. Reading about courage and developing courage are genuinely different activities, and Musonius refused to blur that line. He went further. Musonius argued that the body and the mind are trained together, not separately. Cold, hunger, discomfort, physical effort. These were not punishments or ascetic theater. They were the medium through which the mind learned to stop treating every inconvenience as a catastrophe. If you never voluntarily tolerate discomfort, then every uncomfortable thing that life sends you lands as a genuine emergency. You have no practiced response, only a panicked reaction. This is the mechanism. Training the body teaches the judging mind what it can actually bear, which turns out to be considerably more than the untrained mind believes. Now here is where it gets hard. We live in an environment almost perfectly designed to confirm the untrained mind's fears. Comfort is the default setting. Temperature is controlled. Hunger lasts maybe 20 minutes before a solution is within reach. Physical effort is optional in a way it simply was not for most of human history. None of that is bad in itself, but it means the gap between expectation and reality widens quietly without anyone noticing, until a genuinely hard day arrives and the response is completely disproportionate to the event. The environment removes the friction that training requires. This is the contradiction the title of this episode is built around. You want to start practicing Stoicism today, but everything in the modern environment is pulling toward the opposite of practice. The feeds offer you Stoic quotes. The quotes feel like practice, they are not. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journals, in what we now call the Meditations, that he needed to keep returning to the same ideas because knowing them once was not enough. The practice was the returning. He was writing reminders to himself, not publishing a philosophy for an audience. That distinction matters enormously for a beginner, because it means there is no shortcut that even the emperor found. So what does actual practice look like? Musonius would start it in the morning, and he would start it small. Before the day presents its real demands, you introduce a minor one voluntarily. This is not about suffering. It is about giving the judging mind something to work with. A cold shower is the contemporary version people reach for, and it works not because cold showers are sacred, but because they create a precise, repeatable moment where you can observe your own resistance and then act against it. The practice is not the cold water. The practice is noticing the impulse to avoid and choosing anyway. That is the repetition that builds something durable over time. In the moment, during the day, the practice shifts. Epictetus, who absorbed Musonius's teaching directly, grounded his entire method in one distinction that appears throughout the discourses. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. What is up to us is our judgment, our impulse, our desire, our aversion. What is not up to us is everything external. The behavior of other people, the outcome of events, the reaction of your body to illness or fatigue. The in-the-moment practice is simply asking, before you react, which category you are actually dealing with. A colleague dismisses your idea in a meeting. Is that up to you? No, your interpretation of what it means about you. That is up to you, and that is precisely where the work lives. In the evening, Musonius and the broader Stoic tradition converge on a version of review. Seneca described something like this in his letters to Lucilius, a nightly examination of the day's events, not as self-punishment, but as audit. Where did I react when I could have responded? Where did I treat something external as if it determined my character? Where did I handle it well, and what made that possible? This is not rumination. It has a purpose and an end point. You close the day with information rather than with diffuse anxiety. That small closing ritual is where the training becomes visible to yourself. What changes with repeated practice? Not everything the quotes promise. Stoicism does not remove grief or eliminate the weight of genuine loss. Musonius himself acknowledged that virtue does not make you inhuman. What changes, gradually and unevenly, is the lag time. The gap between the event and the reaction begins to lengthen. You start to notice the impulse before it becomes the action. That noticing is not nothing. It is, in fact, the entire project. When you can observe your own judgment forming, you have recovered the one form of agency that no external event can take from you. It is also worth naming what this process feels like in the middle of it, because the middle is where most people stop. Progress in Stoic training is not usually felt as progress. It tends to feel like a hard morning, followed by a slightly less panicked afternoon, or a difficult conversation where you noticed, only afterward, that you did not say the thing you would have said 6 months ago. These are not dramatic transformations. They are the accumulation of practiced responses replacing automatic ones, and they tend to go unannounced. Zoom out for a moment. The Stoic system has several interlocking ideas: the dichotomy of control, the four virtues, the relationship between nature and reason. But for a beginner, they all flow from one practical fact. Your character is not given. It is built repetitively through the choices you make under pressure. Musonius located that pressure partly in the body because the body is honest. It does not let you pretend. When you are cold and you stay calm, something real has happened. When you are hungry and you do not treat it as an emergency, something real has happened. Those small, unglamorous moments are the substance of Stoic practice, not the beginning stage before the real work, but the actual work itself. Return to the opening question. You want to start practicing Stoicism today. The surprising answer is that starting is not the obstacle. The obstacle is that starting does not feel like enough. A cold morning, a deliberate pause before reacting, a 5-minute review before sleep. These feel too small for a philosophy built around the whole of human life. They are not too small. They are exactly the right size for what Musonius was describing: training that accumulates, that builds a practiced response where there was only an automatic one, that closes the gap between the person you are and the person your judgments are capable of making you. Epictetus, who lost everything a person can lose before he ever taught a single student, framed the whole project in terms that have survived because they are true at the level of daily experience. To paraphrase his teaching in the Discourses, the starting point of philosophy is recognizing what is in your power and what is not, and beginning today to act accordingly. That is where you start, not with perfect calm, not with mastery, with one honest recognition and then the next one. Stoicism: master your judgments, practice what is yours to control,